Good morning, Coach. How are you? You're on mute if you.
When I played. So I finally got.
I'm just recording it, so everything
No
we
worries,
go
no
over,
worries.
I'll be able to send it
I'm
back
finally,
to you.
I got 4 great captains, 2 of which are position players. And with the COVID now, there's no excuse for not doing this. And I've reread Peter's thing, the 4-week thing, and then it resets. I'm pretty good with. Was it 2 years ago? We did it as part of practice. I mean, I'm sure you guys have updated it since then. And then see last year, maybe it was last year we did a part of practice, but then obviously our season got canceled.
Right.
So I know you got 1,000 things going on. I wanted to keep it as simple as possible. One of my captains, the Galvin kid, he's very, he's a 4.0 kid. He said he's already figured out the way to do this, and then whether or not I do a team Zoom like you said. But I mean, just to get the email, or I guess you log in, you choose who you want to face, and then you start off basic, advanced, and then the compete mode.
Yep.
You start off with that test, the standardized test, and then 2 pitches per week, for 2 weeks, and then you're ready to compete. I guess the 4th week, and then it all resets again. I guess is that the general outlook?
Yeah. So, you got a really good base compared to a lot of the other coaches that I talked to. So, a lot of this will seem like review for you.
Yeah.
Definitely gives me an idea on how to work through this with you and everything else. So, are you able to see my screen now here?
Oh yeah. Yep.
All right. So, you're probably pretty clear on the coaching reports and the coaching portal and how to utilize that, or should I go into
do go over that quick. I didn't use that before.
Okay, so through the coaching portal, you have the ability to assign players their drills, okay, and also to see their activity through their little individual card here. So you would just click on the card, click edit, and that would take you into them specifically. So you could see their usage, how they're doing, pitch type, location, all those type of reports that I'll show you here in just a second. I'll let that go back to the dashboard. So you could do that from the coaching portal, or if you click in the coaching portal, you saw where it said the view team stats. That'll take you into this tab here, okay? This tab here, and currently this is getting updated. We're getting a brand new look to our web page and the app as far as the user interface and all that sort of stuff. So the reports are down for right now, but they'll be back up again soon. But this will give you a snapshot of your team. It'll talk about the lowest, the top 75%, top 50%, and top 25%. What that will also be able to do is you could go into each individual team member and look and see what they're doing and get a report on them, on the pitches they faced, how they did, how much time they spent, and the success or lack of success that they had. And because of that, you'll have more ability to individualize their training plan to help them really take that next step. That 2 weeks that you were talking about, that's the most difficult time that coaches have implementing the program and getting their players to buy into it and to follow through with it and that sort of stuff, because what they're going to do is they're going to have a high level of frustration to get started with. And what these reports will really be able to, sorry, let me close this chat here. What these reports will do is it'll help you to understand where the players are at and work with them individually to really understand what they should be doing versus what they want to be doing, right? It's like a kid who says he could bench press 225, and because everybody else is doing, he's trying to do 315. Just not going to work, right? This is the same thing. And these little indicators will help you to identify where they should be at and individualize that plan. So if they're in the red, you're going to have them in a different program, seeing different pitches, maybe seeing the full pitch, maybe just advancing into the basic pitch and that sort of stuff. So you're going to have players that get this and they know it and they're up here. You're going to have some players that struggle, and it's going to be a part of the process that they're learning. The goal is not to close that gap initially. What the goal is to get them both moving up incrementally together until this one gains the confidence, and then this individual actually see bigger gains to pick up to that player that already has a little bit better pitch recognition, that type of stuff. This chart is really to help with that. This here will show the drills completed for your whole team, or again, you could go into each individual player. It'll list their name. It'll show you the pitchers that they faced and how many drills they completed with that. So if they're like, oh, coach, I'm getting after it, I'm meeting my 15 minutes a day, 5 days a week, you could see it pretty clearly here now through the coaching portal. This here's another breakdown of that, of all of your players over the course of a time period. So you can look at it weekly, monthly, or annually. I would always say look at it weekly, because it's going to give you the best data, what they're doing, how many drills they've done side by side with them all together. SRT score, the player doesn't get the report of the SRT score, nor do they even see if they got it right or wrong. This is a tool for you to be able to measure where they're at, where they're going, and how well they're doing getting there. Because with our new plan, with this COVID special, you get 3 SRT tests. So you get one, that's the very first thing they're going to do. They're going to log into their account, they're going to set their batting hand, and they're going to take the SRT. And then they're going to do the program. And then right before you start your season, you're going to take the SRT test again. That'll give you an update of how they progressed. And then you'll test one more time, the third time, right before you go into your conference tournament, to kind of give you a finalized of how they progress throughout the season, and to see if it's transitioning on the field just like it was for the test results. Okay. And again, based off of how their scores are, you can individualize their plan. The last one here, this is one of my favorite ones. When it's working, it's broke out into a 4 cross chart here, where location, balls and strikes versus pitch type. It'll say, like, if they're really good at pitch type and calling balls and strikes, they'll be up in this quadrant. If they're good at identifying ball or strike, but they're not on the right pitch, it'll be over here. If they're good at the pitch type, but not ball or strike, down here. And if they're bad at both of them, they'll be over in here. But what this will really help you out is be able to assign specific drills to meet the player's needs. And I'll go over that in here in just a second, of the options that you have of just ball strike on curveballs. You might be seeing fastball changeup combo drills, things that they can work on specifically to help them take that next step. Instead of just seeing pitch after pitch after pitch, we actually have individualized plans to help them get there. So any questions about these? And usually this takes about 2 weeks of regular use for you to get good data back on your team, okay? So I'll come back into the landing page here. So a coach's landing page and a player's landing page is different. And a coach's landing page, you're going to have library, drills, hit station, and then be able to select the levels. The player will only have the library, which is all the pitchers, so they can work on it on their own. And they'll have access to the drills, the pitch specifics as well. Also, within the drills here, what is different is if they go into this fastball slider, I'll actually go into a pitcher. All right. So when they come into it, they will only see their batting hand here. So they will not have both the right-handed batter and left-handed batter options. But in the demo purposes here, I have them both in there. So they'll only have that and the option to do the drill. This is where you have that capability as a coach. If you wanted to set up Thomas, a left-handed pitcher, because you guys are going to be facing a left-handed pitcher on Friday night, you could send this drill out to the players. The other cool thing about it is when you send this drill, if they're a left-handed batter, they'll get the left-handed view. If they're a right-handed batter, they'll get the right-handed view, regardless of what lesson that you click. The only thing they'll see different is either basic or advanced. Does that make sense? So it'll automatically adapt it to their hitting hand. Okay. So this is really the opportunity where you could send this to your team and they have the opportunity to start working at it at the basic level. Next thing that the coach has as a resource is these hitting stations. And this is where implementing it into your practice is really key. This is where you could project it and have them take dry swings. You could have it on a computer screen and they sit down and they call it out with a partner. You could have it on a TV screen and they hit balls into a net, making the swing decisions. We'll help you come up with different ways to incorporate it into your practice so that we can help you get to that 15 minutes a day, 5 days a week goal where you see the biggest incremental growth of players that utilize the program type of thing. So in here, and I'll show you this real quick, and this is advanced, and I will caveat this that when it goes through Zoom, it's a little jumpy. On your end, it's going to be smooth and that type of stuff. So when you're at the hitting station, what's different from the regular drill work or the pitcher work is that you're picking by clicking ball or strike and the pitch type. In the hit station, it's going to have you sitting in the batter's box and you're making a pitch decision. So he throws that ball and I would say, fastball ball. I got it right. Then what it automatically does is it replays that previous pitch so that you can see the whole ball flight and that sort of stuff. So now I could get set again and I have the screen out in front of them, right? Here I am, I'm sitting, I'm a left-handed batter in the left-handed box. I'm going to see that, I'm going to say fastball strike. Now, at that point, I could take a hack and hit a wiffle ball into a net or something like that. And if I was wrong, then I could see, oh my gosh, it started there. I thought it was there, but it actually fell out of the zone. I shouldn't have gone on that pitch. So now they're incorporating their body into it and that type of stuff. And then this will go through 10 pitches, and then it'll say repeat the drill or go back to the dashboard. Well, if you have it as one of your hitting stations and you got 2 or 3 guys in your hitting station, they all watch it. It's going to be a different sequence every single time. So they're all getting the feedback, but one person's actually working the swing, the go, no go type of thing. But they're all seeing 30 pitches in that matter of time before they rotate out of that station type of thing. Okay. You also have the ability to assign that, but I always encourage coaches that if you're really going to assign a drill, come into the drill work here and send it this way because they're going to get a much better result on seeing it. So are you left or right-handed, Coach?
Left.
Perfect. We're the same. So we'll watch Thomas in the basic. So the difference between full pitch, you're seeing it out of the hand all the way into the catcher's glove. Basic is out of the hand 70% of the ball flight before the video inclusion comes in. Advanced is closest replicatable to a pitch that you see in a game. It's out of the hand 30% of the ball flight, and you're making the pitch decision at that time. And then wicked is literally out of the hand and it cuts off type of thing. So to give you an idea, it gives you the count up here. And here he comes, left on left. I'm going to say fastball strike. And I got it right. So because I got it right, I got a green box here and a green box here, and I got a total of 25 points. This is where that competition side of it comes in for your players. So you could give this pitcher the opportunity to be the compete pitcher of the week. And they could go and do drill work on him as many times as they want. But once they could hit the compete button, I'll show you where that is on the home screen. They get to take it once and that's it, type of thing. Now, let's say that I miss this pitch, okay? So I'm going to try to miss it really, really bad. Curveball ball. Oh, man, I was way off. It was fastball strike. Here's where they have the chance to really grow and learn from it. It's going to help them seeing it, right? And making a decision. But when they miss it, come back and replay it. Now they have the opportunity to see the entire pitch and the full pitch flight. And they could say, oh, okay, I could see that his hand was still behind it. I could see the downward angle. I thought his hand was more over the top of it. That's why I missed it. And they can watch it as many times as they want on replay so that they can learn from it before they go on to the next pitch. Next pitch, it's a 1-2 count. That looked like a changeup strike. No, fastball ball. So I probably just struck out. I probably just swung a little bit too late, and he beat me on it. And because I was going after a ball anyway. But this is the perfect reason why this works so well is they have the chance to learn from it, and they make those adjustments. And guys that are going on balls and swinging and getting themselves out, it's going to help them to identify what is a ball and strike and what type of pitch it is, which means they're going to have better quality at bats and so on and so forth. So that's just a brief drills that they could be doing, whether it's assigned by you, whether it's incorporated at practice, or they're just working on it on their own. That's just kind of what they have the ability to do. And they'll have full access to the entire library of all the pro college guys. And you can see we got quite a few of them that are in there. Then what we were talking about before is once they get through the pitchers, which they will never get through the algorithm the way it's set up. They got to see a pitcher over 5,000 times before they see the same pitch sequence again. So if they really wanted to try to master a pitcher, it's only going to help them with release point and identifying pitches. But as we were talking about before, if we are talking to a hitter that was challenged on pitch location and pitch type, and let's say he was really struggling with the changeup, you could assign them the special changeups where now they're just making ball strike decisions, and they're seeing it from righties, they're seeing it from lefties, they're seeing it from different arm slots, all that sort of stuff. So that they're seeing just multiple changeups, and they're starting to be able to identify if it's a ball or strike, and they learn what they learn to overcome that objections and that type of stuff. Here's curveballs, fastball change combo. You got all these specialty drills that you can come into. Multiple pitchers and designated hitting zones. So you could say, I only want you going on a pitch that's in the lower inside part of the plate. So lower inside for a lefty and lower inside from a righty, two different pitches, obviously. So guys working on it together, they're going to see it differently, and they start to communicate and they start to have better conversations in helping each other. And then those conversations for practice transition to games and that type of stuff. Sliders, 2-strike pitches. This is awesome. So your 0-2, 1-2, and 2-2, there's 20 pitch drill that you could do with just 2-strike pitches. Shows you multiple pitchers and all sorts of different 2-strike things so that you can really put yourself in that hitting situation of being behind in the count and becoming successful in that type of stuff. Whenever a player logs on, they'll have this box here, which is pretty much going to tell them what they need to be doing. Okay. Right now it says my test because the very first thing that they're going to get is they're going to get this test. Well, once they go into their account and they create their batting side, they will only see the test for their batting side. Now, obviously this says youth. You guys will have the college pro one that is assigned to your players. But they'll only see theirs, and then they'll click start the test. Excuse me. However, if you assign drills or anything like that, that'll pop up in this, that'll populate in this area as well. It'll say my assignments. So they'll know what they need to be working on and that sort of stuff. If they are ever struggling or want to go back and take somebody, they could come back down into this area here. It shows their activity. and they have the option of repeating any single one of those drills that they just did. Okay. And then the last one is, and I got to get on a picture before you can see it, is the leaderboard here. So when you assign the pitcher and who you guys are going to compete against, everybody could practice as much as they want. Like they could practice on Thomas right-hander as much as they want, but once they hit compete, whatever they get is what they get. And that's the score that's reported right down here to everybody on the team. And it's kind of that accountability partner and that competitiveness that comes into play and that sort of stuff. So that is it in a nutshell. What sort of questions can I answer for you?
Great presentation. So when you go in to compete, are the sessions 10 pitches or is it 1?
No, it's a just like the drill. It's 10 pitches.
10. All right.
Yep.
And is that when you compete, is that the pitcher that I decide that they're going to do it, or do the kind of players decide?
You decide. You set that. Or if you had any one of the coaches that have access to your coaching login can assign that, but
okay.
It's determined by the coach.
Do you have a demo video of the hitting stations at practice of how you set that up?
Of how you set it up and everything? Yes, we have videos for it. Yeah, we got some stuff on YouTube that we'll share with you.
Oh, it's on YouTube? All right.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Well, it's all private. We share it with you once you come on board.
I don't need that now because I don't start practice till January, but that'd be kind of cool.
And I will tell you, Coach, that what we do is Courtney and I get a report every Monday, and it shows the teams that are or are not using it to be most effective. And if we see that teams aren't using it, we'll put together an email to give you suggestions on more ways to utilize the program and that type of stuff, because I know as well as you do, and I coach at the D2 level, and you get caught in routines and, things become a habit more than anything else. And if you start to forget about it, it falls to the back burner pretty quick. And we see this as being a valuable tool in your toolbox to help your players perform. And it's something they could do at practice, and it's something they could do walking to class. It's something they could do in between rounds while you're getting some live BP or whatever. There's so many different ways to incorporate this.
It's a no-brainer.
Right.
Anyone, exactly. As I said, if you're not using it, the competition is, as I say.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. In your opinion, when should I start this? Should I start this December 1st, January 1st?
Right away.
All right.
Yeah, get it going, because the great thing about it is we're putting this new hashtag out there where pandemic practices. They're going to get their swings in. They're going to get their reps in. And we had a program that we did with some of the major league, minor league teams, where when the pandemic hit, we let them have their subscriptions for free, just like, you guys are screwed. You're out there all on your own.
Yeah, no kidding.
And these guys were using it regularly, and they're like, it's what's kept me sharp. It's, they're going into these winter leagues now and stuff like that and getting at bats, and they're like, I haven't missed a beat. And it is training regardless of it's a higher level.
Hey, if they're going to go to the weight room, this is part of their training. Yep. Weight room. And
this is a much higher level of visualization for sure.
All right. Let's say week 1, they take the SRT. Week 2, they're competing against Abbott and Rio.
Okay.
Rio, right?
Mm-hmm.
Week 3, they're competing against Jason and Marty.
Yep.
And then, in theory, week 4, they're doing a minimum of 3 sessions. And those are the people, that's the compete mode. And I'm picking see, when you compete, when you say a minimum of 3 sessions, how would I pick the guys should I pick 10 guys? Should I, or what?
So are you saying pitchers through the library, or are you asking how many of your players should be doing it?
It said,
you're looking at the 4 week. Okay. Yeah. So you're picking 10 of our pitchers here.
And the player would pick 3 of them.
Correct. Yes.
Got it.
Yeah.
Or I could pick 3 and everyone has to go against those 3 guys.
Absolutely.
I think I'd rather do that. Yeah.
You will for a while, and then eventually you want to give them that freedom of choice and everything else and get their real buy-in. And I will tell you this, Coach, and this is the best way to really say that is if they're not doing a minimum of 5 minutes a day, 5 days a week, they're not going to get anything out of this. They might as well just throw the program away and delete it off their app and that type of stuff. Minimum 5 minutes a day, 5 days a week. The first major incremental jump that they will see is 10 minutes a day, 5 days a week. That's where they're going to really see that first big jump and performance and that type of stuff and transition in the field. Where we see the tipping point, where we see the highest rate of return on the amount of time spent is 15 minutes a day, 5 days a week. What we also found is if they go more than 15 minutes a day, so you got your overachievers that are doing 30 and 45 minutes, we don't see a diminishing returns. We don't see them go backwards, but we also don't see them succeed above the 15 minutes a day, 5 days a week. So it's okay for them to be having more and all that sort of stuff, but they're not going to get more out of it after 15 minutes. That's our research has proven that time and time and time again. So when you're setting this up and you're picking those three players, make sure that they're rewatching them when they miss it. Even if they get the strike right, but it was the wrong pitch or the pitch type right, and they pick ball or strike wrong, rewatch the full pitch. Help them to understand what they missed and find out by watching it what they missed. That's how they're going to get the best return on this. They're going to be extremely frustrated weeks 1 and 2. I didn't understand that. So the opportunity.
I better get on it now. Yeah.
Right. So you get going on it now. The SRT test is really going to help you and barometer where they're at. Once those test results come back in, reach out to us, and then we'll say, listen, this is where you want to start these individual guys, this group of guys and this group of guys. Because if you got a guy that already has good pitch recognition and needs to be at the basic level, and you put him into the full pitch level, yeah, it'll help him. He'll be all right, but he's going to get frustrated with it. It's going to be too easy, and he's going to be like, it's not worth it. So we always want to keep challenging them just a little bit, enough that it's uncomfortable, but not to a point where it's frustrating, where they don't want to do it. And then you have that battle to fight, as well as the opposite end of the disengaged battle. We'll help you with all that. We'll stay.
All right. What could I offer from my team? You want us to do a survey? You want us to keep a logbook? What can we do in return for this?
Yes. So what we got is we have excuse me. We got a help me out here. An agreement of sorts. So within the agreement, some of the things that we ask, I'm just pulling it up here, so I'm not saying it from memory, although I probably could at this point. All right. Where is it? Got so many things on here. Here it is. All right. So here's the excuse me, I got my allergies are just sticking in my throat. All right, and I'll send this to you as well, so that you have a good idea of what to expect and all that good stuff. It's pulling up here. It's a PDF. And of course, if the school administrator or somebody says, no, we can't do that for whatever reason, we'll think of it more of a buffet than it is a set dinner menu type of thing. So provide GameSense app at your camps, and then provide us with the campers' information. What we'll do with your camps also to enhance the value of it is we'll give them a free 1 month subscription as part of your partnership with us. And then what we'll do is we'll try to transition them from a free subscription to a paid subscription. But just like you had there, that 4-week plan, we'll communicate that with each of the players that come to your camp, so that they can really get invested into it. And because of the different levels that we have from youth, high school, and college pro, we can meet any camper that your hats needs type of thing.
Can you send me, I don't know what they call it, like a JPEG of your logo and stuff? Because believe it or not, I'm actually getting I'm still hoping, crossing my fingers with COVID, but I want to put your logo for our printing department for our brochure.
Perfect. Yeah.
And I'm going to basically say this is going to be part of our program for all of our camps moving forward. But my printing office always asks for that special, I think it's a JPEG.
Yeah, JPEG, GIF. They probably ask for it in multiples
whatever
like
the
that.
printing, whatever they need to reproduce that logo.
Right. Yeah, I could definitely get you that. No problem. I'm just making a note for myself.
And actually, if you want to give me that blurb for the camps, or if that's in the agreement, I'll just take it out of the agreement. But just, a small 1 or 2 line deal. Like, this is going to be part of our camps. We're going to set it up in the cages. Actually, all I got to say is we're going to use GameSense pitch recognition at our camps, and then I'll just give you the emails.
Yes.
I'll figure that out.
Yeah. So I just, when I send this email, it'll be a PNG file, and I sent it in 2 different PNG files, which I know they'll be able to use. One of them's a dark logo, one of them's a white logo. So whatever they see fit that they would like to be able to have.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. Let me put the camp.
We just had our last camp last weekend, November 15th, outside. It was nuts.
Oh my goodness. Isn't that crazy?
It was cold, but we got it in.
That's awesome. All right. So here's some other things, and I'll put this in the email as well, Coach, so that you have access to it. Camp. All right. Place the logo on the website, if possible. Logo and game day program as a sponsor. Provide video testimonials from coaches and players. We will not use the players commercially until their eligibility is up. So obviously you as a coach and you saying, if you're not using this, then you're crazy, your competition is. Those are perfect type of things that we could do. Having a video of your player, like, I didn't like GameSense, and then after I used it, I noticed that I was swinging at better pitches and hitting the ball harder. Stuff like that is perfect. Allow or have GameSense signage up at your games if allowable.
You got a banner?
We'll send you a banner. Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Recognize GameSense as your official pitch recognition technology. Issue a press release of the partnership, and then social media mentions and endorsements each month via Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and or any other sources that you have. So we'll help you with content on that pretty easily, so that you could just put it out with your guys' information and that sort of stuff. So I'm gonna put this in there. All right. What else, Coach? I mean,
I'm ready to go. I'm putting it all together.
Okay, so
what I'll probably do is I'll just put a Word document together of what I'm going to be sending to my players, and if you could just look at it to make sure I'm right on schedule.
Yes. All right. Yes. And then what I'm going to do also is I'm going to send you on here, which is a Excel spreadsheet that we need you to fill out so that we could upload them into the system. And when it asks, it'll ask you a question of role type or something like that. Let me get it just for making sure. So
I sent you the emails of the guys.
Okay, so you did send those already?
Yeah.
That Excel onboarding sheet? Okay.
Well, I sent you my own Excel, and you said something about, I don't know if it was you or Peter, you were going to do the same login or password or something?
Yes, it'll be the same login. So their login will be their email. Their password will be something that we create. It usually follows your what is that? The Knights? Is that what you got? Lancers.
The Lancers.
Okay. So it'll be Lancers 21 or something like that. But I'll put that in this email. So let me make sure I have your, I got that spreadsheet. Hit her emails. Here it is. Yep. Okay, perfect. So I'll get this over to Courtney. Courtney will get it uploaded. And then once it's uploaded, your team will be able to rock and roll. One of the things that you want to make sure that you say in that email is that it can go directly into their spam. It could go into their trash, just to be looking for it. But we know it'll come there, and it comes from GameSense.
Got it.
And it's a welcome email to the team. The very first thing they want to do, let me share my screen again. Give me just a second. I'll show you where it's at. It's really super easy. Is they want to go into my account right here, and this will pull up their name, their email, their name, all that sort of stuff. What they really need to do is assign their batting hand. That's the very first thing they need to do. So if they're left-handed,
and that's under my account.
So my account, then the under player info. I'm keeping it switched just because in case I have a coach that hits right-handed. They'll click save. And then once it says saved there, they'll go back to the portal by clicking done right here. It's thinking. And then once they do that, they will not see all three of these tests. They'll just see either switch hitter, left-handed, or right-handed. And then any drill that they go to, it'll only show they're left-handed or right-handed and that type of stuff. But they want to do that first because the very first thing you're going to tell them to do is take that test.
Got it. All right, I got some work today.
And if you have any questions,
I'll get this done by the end of the day.
Shoot me an email and we'll be happy to help you out. And, just looking at your roster here, Coach, you got yourself a good-looking team. You look like you got some good athletes.
As I said, we've had to cleanse. We've had to cleanse the program.
And you've been there 25 years, is that right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
And you played at BU before they dissolved their program.
Yes, I did. Yeah, I was actually I was coaching there in '95, and we actually said it was probably the only program in the country. We had four of the coaches, or all of the coaches. We were all BU grads coaching there in '95, and we got back from Florida, and they told us the season was over.
So I knew a kid that do you remember the name Tim Pushan?
No.
Oh, okay. Because he was going to be he was probably a redshirt for you guys that year. Because he and I ended up playing.
What's his last name?
Pushan. Tim.
Spell that for me.
Puscion, I think.
Pushan.
Yeah. I'm gonna look it up now. He and I were roommates at Appalachian State, and that's what he was.
Yeah. Where's he now? Yes. He's
Timmy
living. All right. Yeah.
Yeah. He's living in Florida and living the single life. But he and I were roommates at Appalachian State together.
Yes, indeed. It's the only kid I've ever, of any sport. It's the only kid I know that's gone to Appalachian State. Yes, he's shortstop.
Yeah, he was shortstop. Yeah. Ended up playing third for us, and I was the center fielder.
Well, you're D2. I'm sure you heard of Mercyhurst.
Yeah.
And Joey Spanos, the coach there with his brother, and Joey was with us that year, and then he had to look for a place to transfer, so he went to where did Irish O'Reilly? What school was he? Remember him, Irish O'Reilly? Honestly, I think he just passed away, but he at Lewis. Is that Lewis? Well, he went out there, and then Joey ended up getting a job at Mercyhurst. Been in the World Series like 2 times now. So
Mercyhurst.
And what was your school?
I was at Metro State in Denver.
That's awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, and I coached there.
Timmy Push. Damn.
Yeah, blast from the past. So the
Wow.
small world. So when you said you coached there in '95, I knew that he had transferred out of there. So
So it's amazing. Like they dropped my alma mater, and we're all coaching there. School wasn't going great for me, so I took a leave of absence. And my parents, believe it or not, were in the Peace Corps, or about to leave for the Peace Corps. So my life was kind of like, I had no, like, what am I doing now? I'm not in school. The loans are kicking in. They just, because you think when you're young, oh, I'm just gonna coach at my alma mater, right? Well, then they just dropped baseball. There's no more baseball. So I was literally in no man's land. And back then, the newspapers was a little ad, Worcester State job. And I walked in to the interview, my first interview, and they go, yeah, the job's yours if you want it. And I went, you don't ask me any questions? It was the worst program ever. One of the players on the team wanted the job. He put himself in. He was going to be a player coach. It was a joke. It was an absolute joke.
Oh my goodness!
Imagine that. I said, "Who's the other candidates?" I said, "Oh, you got this guy, this guy." I'm like, "Who?" And he's like, "Oh, he's one of the players on the team." I'm like, "You're going to interview him? Are you kidding me?"
Oh my goodness!
The crazy thing is, the kid didn't even come back.
He's probably embarrassed.
He didn't come back the next year. Yeah, so that was a very interesting couple of years from, and I was actually my roommate is from Providence, Rhode Island, so he's a big PC fan, and they dropped baseball at PC in '99, so it was the same decade, and they made the regional championship, knowing this they'd never have baseball again. And one of the kids from Worcester was on that team. He was a big leaguer. And it's, I know Iowa State dropped it, UNH, UVM, go on and on and on. So, and now COVID's killing it. They're killing teams. They're killing programs.
Killing teams,
Terrible.
killing programs, killing
guess how much
careers. I mean, it's crazy.
Guess how much. Now, we're Division III non-scholarship state school. Guess how much my budget for a year is?
6,500.
42,000. So like the whole budget, 42. So salaries, travel.
Oh, okay.
Right?
I thought you were just okay.
That's nothing.
No.
Right? That's nothing. Hey, Clemson is pissed that they lost $300,000 because they went to Florida State and then they canceled the game.
Right. Exactly.
So,
right.
Our budget for everything is $42,000 a year. My coaches make peanuts. And then you think about Notre Dame football.
Oh,
right. Ohio State football, like, damn. But yeah, when I took the $2,500, $2,500 was my salary that first year, and I still have the desk. It's out in our dugout. I still have the desk. So the things we do with this. So this game sense. I tell everyone about it. I tell everybody about it. And have I told you or Peter? Actually, no, I did. I actually set up the talk. Are you in partnership with Firecracker? Have you heard that? It's a baseball showcase.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Yes. So that worked.
Yep. So we are doing a revenue share with them.
Yeah. He everyone has showcases. Perfect Game. This is PBR thing. I'm sure you've heard of these.
Right. Yep.
But he is really exploding, and he's like all over the Northeast now. So and he's a good friend of mine, so I definitely put you guys. That's good. That's good to know. That's good to know that they're doing something.
Well, and
actually, you know what? If you're in your communication, whatever, ask him if he's doing it. Because this year got screwed up with COVID.
Right.
He should make a station of the game sense at his showcase.
We're working on that.
You're working on it. All right.
Yeah. So
make sure he knows that, he knows because obviously I set this all up.
Right. Yeah. So what we're trying to work out with them is have the every single camper that shows up gets a free SRT score.
There
So
you go.
they'll sit there, they'll get the test, they'll put in all their information. Then we'll reach out to them and be like, listen, do you want to improve this score? Because colleges are using this. I mean, when I started with GameSense, we were at 61 colleges. Since I started just 3 months ago, now we're up to 94 colleges that are using GameSense. And because of the success that programs are having with it, and they believe in what's working with GameSense, and they now identify the SRT as being an important part of that tracking, now it's become a recruiting tool for them.
Yeah.
Especially.
And what about Perfect Game? Did we try that already? You remember that?
I have not been involved with Perfect Game yet, but I would love to be able to get re-engaged with them, because that's 100% of my job title is vice president of sales, is to build those type of relationships.
All right. Well, I mean, I work for them too. I know they're a very big deal. Yes. They're more of the whole showcase thing versus instruction, but I'm like, you got to keep up with your competition. So,
and the other good thing we could do with them, just like we did with Firecrackers, we just do a revenue share. We have a way to track it from the affiliate partners link. So the kid would go in, sign up for his free account. When we converted that account, we would then give a percentage back to them.
Yeah. All right,
for that referral. So there's definitely
a message.
Earnings opportunity there too for him.
And the new AAA team is coming to Worcester. They're going to call it the Woo Sox. So it's AAA Red Sox. And the hitting coach is a very good friend of the program. Obviously I'm sure they do something, but I saw him last weekend. I should have asked him. I will find out. Do you know if the Pawtucket Red Sox are using your thing?
They are not. Red Sox.
Do you know if they what do they do or have? Do you know?
I don't know.
All right, I'll find out about the Perfect Game, and I'll find out about that team, because they're moving into a brand new stadium right, downtown here. So that might be something that I'll work on. So
we got those great partnerships with the pro clubs, and holy cow, they love it. I mean, we have the Rays that were in the World Series that did it. The Dodgers, they modified our technology through a copyright agreement. So
and the Astros cheated.
And the Astros cheated, but they still used it. The Diamondbacks
they cheated on their scores, on their compete scores. They cheated.
They were banging on trash cans for the compete scores too.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, baby.
The Rockies,
in the background. Fastball,
the Diamondbacks,
ball.
Yeah. Fastball ball. Hurry, come on, click it. Yeah, so we definitely, and there's organizations like the Yankees that have come to us, and they want to create their own thing out of it, and all sorts of different stuff. So it's definitely starting to get its traction. It's definitely
all right. Last thing, if you're into swag, if you want Worcester State swag, tell me what you want and give me sizes, and that can come at any time.
I love hats, Coach.
Right.
7 1/4 hat. I would love to have one.
Now, is that would you call that like a small medium in the flex
small
fit?
Medium in a flex fit? Yes,
all
sir.
Right. You got it. I'll see what I got in the closet.
Nice. Yeah, that's one of my goals is for each team that we bring on board is to have their hats. So.
I like that. I like that.
So eventually, my background, instead of my Vince Lombardi and my different motivational trophies that I got back there, will be all the different hats type of thing.
Cool.
Awesome,
all right, what
Coach.
else for me? Anything else for me?
That's it. I'm going to send this off to you here, and just to wrap up the call and give you all the information as far as the partnership agreement, and then we'll get rocking and rolling with getting your team up and going.
Awesome. This is huge. Huge.
Right. Appreciate you, Coach. Best of luck, and utilize us as a resource. If you need anything, or if you're having issues with anything, come to myself and Courtney, who I'll introduce to you on this email as well.
Cool.
We're your point of support to help you get through anything and all that good stuff.
All right, my man.
All right.
Have a great Thanksgiving.
You too. Happy Thanksgiving.
See you, man. Bye.
Bye-bye.